to everyone in Jasper in January. As a lover of mountain landscapes, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me to read some of my poems as part of the High Art event. It's a pleasure to read alongside Bob Guest's artwork. Home with Wolves. I was a wolf once on one September day of thousands. 2 wolves were waiting on the mountain road. I howled badly, inviting them to my lookout cabin like a wistful sister should. 4 of their relatives heard, jumped out of the bush, and joined the party like happy-go-lucky yahoos would. I watched, enchanted, as 6 wolves laughed and trotted the icy road toward me. Cha-chung, 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 ha-ha-ha. I ran inside for my camera to capture the lucky revelry. Erratic, a dog in heat, I returned to the road rippling with wolves. But they knew first that my wolf self was gone. They leapt into the bush complaining, sniffing the ground, while I was left panting, ha-ha-ha, pacing around, waiting for my excited wolfishness to be found. Amphitheater of Stars reveals a drama no one on Broadway can see. Full moon, breathing on this incandescent stage, coming and going. Lightning crashing all around, an illuminated brain. A tan doe, her white tail waving goodbye. Sunrise, glistening snow tracks, hair poetics. An orange butterfly tenderly probing my toes till I wake up. Ah, loneliness, start packing your bags. Soon the fire tower will close. In the middle of the watershed, I sit on a rogue boulder high in alpine fields, reading Gary Snyder. My mind in the Rocky Mountains, I watch blue glaciers blanketed with toxaphene, running away from the heat. I reflect on the silvery river below, mirror of change. I turn to north, my eye to swollen river seamouth, where floating whales blow toxic through spouts. O weaving licentious river, all the dirt slides down your logged slopes. I faced west, where trout jump through rainbows, then disappear in silent oil drilling mudspill. Eagles circle, eyeing the thirsty river. Mind of twisting waters, I turn east, my ear on stream waves, underground explosion of West Bank water wars. Man's globe is leaking, no neutral benedictions. O mind of filtering bones and eggs in foamy wet pools. I face south with SPF 306 sunblock on skin. No potions for mutant 3-legged frogs. Holy mind of dwindling rivers in multi-mega industrial watershed. God, they're opening up the country while closing down our ancient mines. Look, we are the frogs, the whales, the eagles. We claim spawnage from Ice Age flows. We are the Nobel laureate trout, taking the river to an unmade bed. Healers. I'm surrounded by families of healers, gold arnica flowers in mountain fields, masseurs of sore limbs, blue juniper berries and fuchsia fireweed, cleansers and peppery color in my salad, flock of white yarrow flowers. Thanks for the conversations over tea and group meditations, and blue delphiniums, toxic to lips, but with your purple trumpets, that blow nth dimension songs. Who needs angels when I'm a mad woman soothed by looking at you? Tree talk. A big black bear and 2 cubs had hung around the fire tower a week, feeding on fiery red bearberries. One morning the mountain exhaled a breeze. Dandelion heads opened, ecstatic in sunshine. One cub nuzzled her mother's fur, shiny in the northern salmon sun. The other cub, with white patch on forehead, nipped its sibling's tiny feet. I decided to bring out my grizzly bear skull, a gift given me by a park warden after a female died from a tranquilizer dart. With bear skull in my lap, I sat down on my cabin porch. Suddenly, with bear skull exposed to the open air, the pine tree I was looking directly at started shaking furiously. The only tree of 200 in the yard moving at all. The gentle breeze still blew across the mountaintop, but somehow wind galloping like Pegasus rapped against this lone crooked pine. The mother bear walked over and stood tall on hind legs, staring with dark eyes at the tree as I watched, curious and transfixed, from the porch, bear skull still in hand. Who said bears had poor eyesight? When the one tree tempest stopped suddenly as it began, Mama Bear fell to the ground, feasting on sweet berries again, and sniffing in the direction of my breathlessness. Later I placed my bear skull long-term into that aging tree. The bear and we rise like a windstorm from deep hibernations to witness these old trees talk. Climbing, feet edge on rocky toehold. I poke my head through a moonlit hole and rest on both sides. We overnight on mountain ledge, dream we are ants, driving tiny cars below. A steep pitch triggers sewing machine leg. My trembling appendage stitches a hidden wound. Eyes and hands reach for the next scarred face. I haul a rack of weighty technologies, a backpack of granite emergencies, and sling rope to tie into the rock's story. Ice climbing, I kick crampons, axes into the frozen waterfall, lips lick bleeding water. Kananaskis. Your cool skin seemed a challenge to touch at that alpine height and angle, so I stepped cautiously in Swiss mountain boots on your scalp of steep snow. On my ranger radio, I pronounced that I was crossing over, completing a loop. A rock tumbled, trumpeting in the valley. You froze while time held its breath. My toes stretched to listen to you. On your white glistening tongue, I paused. Not that way, you whispered. I stopped. You slapped me with an exhale of wind. Not that way. I abandoned your snowy face to pick my way slowly down your rocky hip. Stones slipped beneath me and rolled hundreds of feet below. I bent down to hold onto rocks, feeling for a hidden map. I followed your lead. You pulled clouds off the sun when I, hot and damp, finally felt your soft meadow underfoot. I flung off my pack, peeled off my ranger shirt, rolled in your tiny blue ankles of alpine forget-me-nots, stroked your green toes, and yelled to the valley, "We're God! We are God!"